Tonight, a brawl at a downtown Santa Cruz restaurant has led to the controversial firing of one of its own employees. In this video, one of Alderwood's workers gets into a fistfight with a customer. However, witnesses are telling us that the customers were the ones yelling racial slurs at that employee. KION's Drew Andre live for us outside the restaurant with a full story and a response from the owners tonight. Drew?
Well, Veronica, tonight the restaurant is closed. That fight that you saw there on video happened almost 2 weeks ago. But now that the video has gone viral, the restaurant's received multiple threats and nearly a dozen employees have resigned in support of their fired colleague. Food on the floor and shattered glass shows the aftermath of the fight inside Alderwood's dining room almost 2 weeks ago.
It started with verbal altercation that ended up in violence.
Witnesses we spoke with say a few customers got in a confrontation with an off-duty employee after knocking over a coronavirus plexiglass barrier between tables. Then the customers allegedly began shouting racial and homophobic slurs at the Filipino employee. And that escalated to punches being thrown.
It was just pandemonium in the restaurant.
Tonight, the owner and head chef say they had no choice but to let the employee go because he was a part of the violence.
Security footage just shows both parties escalating the situation, and perhaps not in equal measure, but it's important to note that it was violent.
The employee was fired a week after the incident, and many of the other workers are furious over the decisions, saying it's created a hostile work environment. And several employees, like Evan Main, who didn't want his face shown in our interview, have resigned.
It's just unjustified, and they wanted to cut their ties from the situation by letting him go, which ultimately had a major blowback on them in the public eye. In today's social climate, we all know, no one's going to stand for that kind of behavior.
Management admits they could have dealt with the situation better, but also pride themselves on their diverse work environment and tell me, despite what some are saying, they do not tolerate racism and bigotry.
Opened 2 years ago with the intent of having a place that is very welcoming to everybody from the walks of life, be very inclusive, and to have a safe, happy environment for people to hang out in.
Now, the employee we spoke with said even if the fired chef was rehired, he may not return just because of the tension that this is built up in the work environment. Right now, there's no timetable for when the restaurant will reopen. And Aaron, Veronica, the customer who was a part of that fight, they've been banned from the restaurant too. Reporting live in Santa Cruz, I'm Drew Andre, KION News, Channel 546.